Alright, hello everyone. I just wanted to show you kind of the next step as far as what we need to do. It's very important that we know how many feet of wire that we're putting on our spool, especially if you're using the Vesper calculator. So how we're going to do that is we're going to use one of these wheels. I'm sure you've seen them. People push them along. They roll along the ground. Tells you how many feet they are. It's pretty easy to see. It's got a counter reset and everything. How we're going to do that is I took the pole off, of course, drilled a hole in the base here. We're going to go ahead and attach that right here along the side. And then to connect this to the rotation of the motor, we're going to use just a standard elastic band. Pretty simple. Everybody's got a few of these in their drawer. Okay, so this is all mounted. It just got screwed into the end. We've placed our elastic band right here on it. And then I'll go ahead and turn it on so you can see how it works. As you can see, it's all zeroed out right here. And when you turn it on, of course it rotates with the belt. And then you can see 1 foot, and then you'll see another foot, etc. So that go ahead and counts our wire. So that's the last step of the actual attachment and everything on the motor unit. Everything from here on out is going to be about the coil assembly, and I'll show you that next. Alright, so the parts that we're going to need to hold our coils in place are pretty simple. This is some lath metal that's already pre-drilled with some holes. I'll show you how that's going to work later. You've got some all thread and some washers, the nuts for it. There'll be some retainer springs, and there's also some felt, and I'll show you how all. Okay, so our next step was we took that big flat piece of metal with all those holes drilled in it. We made some bends in it, and that's so that we can actually flip that around and attach it here. And that's going to actually be for our coil support. And that's going to feed our wire in through so that we can finish our coil. This is going to be our support bar that's going to support our windings for our coils. And that's got a center divider, and I'll show you how all that relates in just a minute. And then these two pieces right here, you're probably wondering what the felt was for earlier. These are some pieces of acrylic that are covered in felt now. And those are to put pressure on the spool so that you don't have back spooling issues while you're winding your coils. And I'll show you how that works as well. So we're going to take those, a few assorted screws, some nuts, and then of course some springs. And the springs are going to provide our tension. And okay, so we've now finished our coil machine. So as you can see, this is our coil holder that's going to hold our spools of wire. I'm just going to turn it around here so you can get a look at the back side of it. And as you can see, these two screws that come through here, that's holding the spring on. Then you have your one spool here and your other spool here. And then you also have a spot up here on the top section that you could actually hang spools from up here and feed multiple coils down in if you wanted to as well. Now, as you can see, some of this right here, you can see the tension spring here. And what that does is, if you look here, these actually hold tension on our spool. When I move that, you can see that it backs off the tension, but if I tension back up the wire, you can see that it holds some tension there. And that's what this is for, and the felt is so that we don't rub our wire, so our wire always stays nice and good. And then the same thing here, it's got our tension for this side as well. I'm just showing two different spools here, two different size wires here, as you can see on the wire size. So that will let you know that we can run two different wire sizes through, or if you drill more holes, then you can do a tri-coil or however many that you need. And as you follow the wire back down here to the coil, you can see the actual coil here is actually very, very, very good. The quality of spool that is here, you can see how tight all the rings are together and how nice and flush they are. Really looks machine made. Well, of course it is a coiling machine. So that's exactly how everything goes together, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video series here on how to make a coil machine. And now that it's completed, you can see all the steps were really quite easy, and all of the parts were really quite easy to come by and actually make up. Some of the other things that we're going to talk about next is how to actually make a spool, and that's going to be part of the next video series. Then after we make our spool, I'll show you one that's actually in stages, getting coiled all up until finished in completion. And then we'll go ahead and put it on our coil testing machine. We'll give it a rev up, and we'll show you exactly how it is tested out, the actual coil that we make on the machine from start to finish. So hopefully you'll tune in for that, and I appreciate all of your comments, and please make sure that you represent on the Teep Forum, and thank you. Bye-bye.